Imagine a sealed court file from the year 2000, detailing an explosive lawsuit against Jay-Z that conveniently vanished from public record. Or consider a security guard, the only witness to the infamous elevator fight, who died in a mysterious accident just months after speaking out. These aren't just wild rumors from a forgotten message board. They are buried details in the 25-year history of Jay-Z and Beyoncé's empire. The power couple has masterfully built a billion-dollar brand on a fairy tale romance. But behind the scenes, a darker story has been unfolding. Tonight, we're connecting the dots they never wanted you to see, from vanished lawsuits and hushed settlements to the perfectly timed PR moves that have kept their kingdom intact. Let's rewind the clock all the way back to '99. It was inside a TRL green room that a teenage Beyoncé first crossed paths with a 30-year-old Jay-Z. What seemed like a classic princess meets hip-hop king fairy tale was, if you peeked behind the velvet ropes, already tangled up in non-disclosure agreements, hushed whispers of hush money, and a civil suit so explosive it conveniently vanished the very day Crazy in Love dropped. Looking back, you can see how the seeds for everything were planted then. Why that elevator security footage was never just about one drunken argument. Why Lemonade wasn't simply art. And why the same lawyer keeps popping up every single time a new accuser steps forward. The paper trail has always been public. It's just been scattered, waiting for someone to connect the dots. Picture this Beyoncé, just 18, still under her dad's watchful eye in Houston. Meanwhile, Jay-Z, a seasoned 30, already a 9-figure mogul, carried a reputation. You know, the kind of guy whose dates signed ironclad NDAs before they even ordered breakfast. They officially met at the Bills video rap party in New York. According to two background dancers who later spoke to Rolling Stone, Matthew Knowles introduced them with the line, "Y'all should do a song together." Then, in a move that feels straight out of a movie, pulled Jay-Z aside and added, "Just don't forget she's my daughter." Within weeks, Beyoncé was flying commercial to New York with no security, staying at the very same Tribeca penthouse where Jay had previously hosted Vanity Fair shoots. Nothing technically illegal there, of course, but it absolutely sets the stage for a pattern. The younger woman enters Jay's orbit, the older gatekeepers conveniently look away, and the paperwork gets signed. It's a narrative that, looking back, just feels a little too familiar. In August 2000, something far more sinister unfolded. A 13-year-old girl told the LAPD she was drugged and raped at a VMA afterparty in the Hollywood Hills. The lawsuit pointed fingers at two A-list rappers, Sean Combs and Jay-Z. Court documents, unearthed by Radar in 2022, reveal the accuser's legal team tried desperately to get MTV to hand over party footage. Their response? The tapes were recycled. Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, swiftly dismissed the whole thing as a shakedown. And just like that, the suit was quietly sealed and dismissed in 2001. No criminal charges were ever filed, leaving many questions unanswered. But here's the kicker. That same lawyer, Alex Spiro, reappears 2 decades later, representing Jay-Z in the current federal inquiry. Then came 2003. Crazy in Love hits the radio, and the chemistry between Jay-Z and Beyoncé is absolutely undeniable, right? But so was the fine print. Both artists shared the same attorney for their publishing splits. A clever move, ensuring all that cash stayed right in-house, even if they ever called it quits. By 2004, they're gracing red carpets, a picture of hip-hop royalty. Yet Beyoncé still tells Oprah, "I'm not getting married until I'm 25. She turns 25 in 2006. They tie the knot a mere 2 years later. Observers, of course, called it perfect timing. Ex-employees, however, have a different term, a prenup deadline. Get this, a former Roc Nation intern spilled some tea on Twitter in 2021, claiming the prenup had infidelity penalties worth triple if caught on hotel surveillance. Poof, the tweet vanished within an hour. But you know how the internet is. Screenshots are still floating around on those lipstick alley threads, making you wonder what juicy details were really in that contract. And then the wedding. April 4th, 2008. 40 guests, no camera phones allowed, and a chapel literally built overnight inside Jay-Z's penthouse. Beyoncé's mom, Tina, designed the dress, and the cake was flown in all the way from Paris. The press only found out because a neighbor, probably annoyed by all the commotion, leaked the fireworks permit. For two icons who literally monetize every single photo op, that's silence. It screams strategy. No paparazzi, no guest list leaks, and certainly no glossy magazine deal. It was a masterclass in controlled narrative. But here's something else that happened that very same week. Jay-Z quietly settles another civil claim. This one was filed by a former tour accountant alleging unpaid wages and, oddly enough, emotional damage caused by witnessing inappropriate conduct backstage. Again, sealed records. Again, Alex Spiro's name pops up on the docket sheet. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What kind of inappropriate conduct was being witnessed? Between the global phenomenon of single ladies and the epic Watch the Throne album, the couple reportedly spent more nights apart than together. Then came May 5th, 2014, and the Met Gala afterparty. Surveillance footage from inside the Standard Hotel forever changed the public's perception. It showed Solange physically attacking Jay-Z, kicking and flailing, while Beyoncé stood eerily still, clutching her purse. 3 weeks later, the family released a carefully worded statement. "We've worked through it." But the real story? According to a hotel security guard who spilled the beans to Variety anonymously, Jay-Z had apparently shown Solange a text thread. You know, the kind planning a late-night rendezvous with another woman. And get this, the guard claimed Beyoncé had seen those texts even earlier and simply told Solange, "Handle it." And the footage itself? That same guard claimed the surveillance video, the one that fetched TMZ a cool $250,000, came from a junior staffer who was promptly fired the very next day. The Standard Hotel, naturally, never confirmed a thing. Oh, and that guard died in a motorcycle accident 6 months later. Police, of course, ruled it accidental. Just another unfortunate turn of events, right? Despite the elevator drama, the On the Run tour grossed a staggering $109 million. A financial success, yes, but behind the scenes, it painted a different picture. Backstage staff told Page 6 that the couple used separate dressing rooms situated on opposite ends of every stadium. Jay-Z traveled with his private chef, while Beyoncé, perhaps needing a different kind of calm, traveled with a hypnotist. One crew member remembers Beyoncé's assistant sweeping up every single disposable camera used by the caterers like we were smuggling nukes. No devices, no leaks. And that meant the public never got to see the nightly arguments that apparently erupted right before the encore. It makes you wonder what truly went on behind those closed doors, away from the cameras and the hypnotist. Beyoncé drops Lemonade, an album that wasn't just music, it was a cultural earthquake. Pray You Catch Me echoes, while images of smashed surveillance cameras fill the screen. Within minutes, the Bayhive, with their unparalleled detective skills, decodes Becky with the good hair. In a rare candid interview with T Magazine in November 2017, Jay-Z finally breaks his silence. He admits, "I shut down emotionally. I cheated." He praises therapy, insists he still loves Beyoncé, and claims the hardest thing was looking my daughter in the eyes. But here's what you won't find in that confession: a name, a timeline, or a head count. Coincidentally, this very interview drops right as Roc Nation inks a content deal worth a cool $200 million with a major streaming service. The media, of course, frames it as redemption. Critics, however, are quick to label it as perfectly timed PR, a calculated move to control the narrative. Whatever you believe, the prenup clauses reportedly shifted after this, with Beyoncé now holding the majority stake in their combined publishing catalog. Interesting, isn't it? A public confession, a massive deal, and a financial restructuring all wrapped up in one neat package. The twins, Sir and Rumi, are born in June 2017, but the public doesn't get a glimpse for a full 8 months. TMZ eventually pays a staggering $8 million for the first image, setting a new record for a celebrity baby picture. Around the same time, a former bodyguard in London files a wage complaint, alleging he was asked to facilitate discreet hotel check-ins for women who were not Beyoncé. Poof. The case settles within 48 hours, and the bodyguard's social media, gone. Then their streaming service, Tidal, gets hit with accusations of inflating streaming numbers for both Beyoncé and Kanye West. Norway's Supreme Court actually opens an inquiry, And Jay-Z, in a written deposition, pleads the fifth. The numbers are quietly revised. No fines are ever issued. Just another day at the office, right? The pattern of quick settlements and vanishing evidence continues to emerge. Diddy posts an Instagram story showing Jay-Z laughing at his 54th birthday bash. Fans, ever vigilant, notice a white envelope changing hands. 2 weeks later, Cassie's explosive lawsuit against Diddy drops, referencing coercive parties in LA and New York. Jay-Z's name isn't directly mentioned, but you know those eagle-eyed conspiracy TikTokers? They swear the envelope in the video looks exactly like the one spotted in 2000 party photos. Fast forward to December 2023, and federal agents are subpoenaing every single attendee list from Diddy's Hamptons white parties, going all the way back to 1999 through 2004. Jay-Z's legal team quickly issues a statement. Our client has not been accused of any crime. And technically, yes, that's true. But isn't it interesting how that exact phrase popped up in 2000, then again in 2008, and once more in 2014? When you're looking at a pattern, it definitely matters. It's hard to ignore the recurring legal language around these high-profile figures. Then came a curious report from outlets in the UK in February 2024. A high-profile American couple had obtained a preemptive restraining order against a former Roc Nation employee who threatened to release audio of a marital argument. The story? It vanished within 24 hours. But dig into British court records and you'll find the applicants listed simply as Sean Carter and Beyonce Knowles Carter. The order itself? It specifically prohibits any mention of their children's names, the word elevator, and any reference to Diddy parties. If this is your first time hearing about that sealed 2000 lawsuit, hit like so YouTube knows. People want buried court docs back in the algorithm, and comment "open the seal" if you think those files should absolutely be public. March 2024 brought a significant financial maneuver. Jay-Z sells 50% of his Armand de Brignac champagne stake to LVMH for a whopping $640 million. The very same week, Beyoncé quietly moves her Parkwood Entertainment into a new holding company co-owned by her mother, Tina. Financial reporters, ever the optimists, call it smart diversification. Divorce attorneys, however, have a different term. Asset separation ahead of a split. Beyoncé's Instagram, tellingly, shifts from happy couple pics to solo shots with captions like, "Grateful for my own magic." Jay-Z's Twitter, managed by his team, posts a throwback photo of the twins with the caption, "Family first." The whole timing of it screams conscious uncoupling, but both camps, of course, deny any marital trouble. June 2024. The blast obtains a settlement document dated June 3, 2024, listing Beyoncé and Jay-Z as co-defendants in a privacy invasion claim filed by a former tour staffer. The amount? A hefty $2.8 million. The allegation? That the couple used NDAS to intimidate employees from reporting sexual harassment by third parties. Translation? The staffer alleged Jay-Z's entourage, not Jay-Z himself, crossed some serious lines, and the couple, well, they allegedly covered it all up. The case settles within 72 hours, and the paper trail? It vanishes from Pacer. The only reason we even know about it is because a paralegal, bless their heart, saved the docket number and leaked it to a Reddit subgroup. That subreddit, by the way, was banned for doxing just 3 days later. Convenient, right? It seems some secrets are just too big to stay buried for long. So do you believe in coincidences, or are you starting to see a pattern here? Because either way, this timeline makes one thing crystal clear. Every single time Jay-Z and Beyoncé face a potential expose, one of three things almost always happens. Records vanish, accusers settle, or the entire narrative somehow pivots back to a heartwarming love story redemption. That fairy tale they sold us back in 2003, it's morphed into a meticulously edited playlist where the tracks they skipped are the ones telling the real, unfiltered story. So next time you scroll past a perfectly timed Instagram of the couple looking utterly blissful, just pause and ask yourself, what headline did that photo just bury? Drop your favor. Fame hides everything until it doesn't.